Hi guys, it's Ian here, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to be a conversation master.
Because I'm working here, I'm wrapping here already a month and a half.
Okay.
And I have another month here left.
Right, because I'm going to be here for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe we can go for like a drink sometime. Because right now it's weird.
Why?
Because we're like standing, I can't see your eyes, and and we don't have, like, we're in a rush.
Yeah.
Stuff. But maybe we can like sit down sometime.
Okay, do you have your phone?
Sorry?
Do you have your phone?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Do you have WhatsApp?
Yes.
If you went for WhatsApp, you could tell me. Like I won't tell you.
I wish I was working for the Mossad.
Why, are they well paid?
I know, I just think it's an interesting job.
Yeah. They know like Krav Maga.
How do you know what Krav Maga is? Where do I work? In all kinds of hotels.
Everywhere. That sounds dodgy.
Why dodgy? Have a lovely day.
Ian.
Bye, Ian.
You see, the biggest issue that most guys have is what they say after they've approached the girl, because usually after a guy walks up to a girl to initiate a conversation, they end up running out of things to say. Now, when this happens, the interaction usually goes downhill from there. So here are my top 5 tips which will help you to overcome this issue. Frame control. Now, frame control happens all the time when people are in conversations, and essentially it's about how the status of the person is, whether it's lower, higher, or equal to the person that they're talking to. Now, this usually dictates how the conversation goes. Now, it's a very powerful factor, and actually it goes beyond conversations and controls how relationships between people progress. Now, for example, you'll have a far different conversation with your boss than someone of a lower status than you, or for example, someone trying to sell you something over the phone. Now, the person of higher status almost always controls how the conversation goes. The same happens with a girl when most guys approach her, especially if it's in a bar where she's used to being approached so many times. So the mentality is that she hold all the cards and has been making the choices whether to entertain the guy all night if he were to approach her. Therefore, it's so important that as soon as you initiate the conversation with her, that you flip the frame on her. Now, instead of giving her that value based on how physically attractive she is, imagine she's trying to impress you instead. So act like you're high in status and that you are making the choice. Now, this may sound alien to you at first, but keep doing it until it becomes a habit. It is then that you'll start to see a change in yourself and how you view women you're attracted to. Lead the conversation. Now, continuing on from my last point, the person of a higher status should always control and lead where the conversation goes, but it's much easier than you think. You see, most guys find themselves jumping through these hoops and answering every question that she asks. Now, a lot of the time, they can be boring questions like, where is he from and what is he doing for a living? Remember your status. If you were her boss, she would not be asking you these types of questions, so you don't have to answer every question that she asks you. Instead, break her pattern of questions with a simple answer like, is this a job interview? With a cheeky smile, and then talk about something that you're interested in that you can share with her and make a connection with her in the process. And the more you become aware of this, the better you'll be able to break that normal pattern and bring the conversation to the topics that you want to talk about, and more importantly, that you're comfortable with. Always assume. Now, you see, another mistake that most guys make is that they always end up bombarding the girl with questions like, where is she from and what she does for a living. Now, I've touched on this before, guys, and the conversation usually never goes anywhere, as the girl ends up getting really bored and just walking away. Instead, make assumptions instead of asking questions. Doing this will intrigue her, and it doesn't matter if you guess her nationality, occupation wrong, because it still shows her that you're genuinely interested in who she is as a person, and everything that she tells you about herself can be used to take the conversation where you want it to be. So always listen to what she's talking about. Now, not only do women appreciate guys that actually make the effort to listen to what they're talking about, but it will give you a great opportunity to make a great connection with her, and it will also increase your chances of seeing her again as a result. Focus on her interest. Now, most of my clients, when they come to me straight away, they ask, I open the conversation and it's going well, but what am I going to talk to her about next? Now, if you concentrate on constantly talking, you'll miss the biggest part in communication, which is listening. So take a note of this, as this is very important. Don't create a bad mindset by feeling and thinking that you have to talk all the time. Instead, start listening and ask yourself, how do you get her talking about her life and her interests? So you have to shift the conversation to her interests and let her vent. For example, she said she likes traveling. Always give her active and constructive responses about her interests and invite her to reveal much more, such as, that's great, sounds good, tell me more. Then you can ask questions about her interests and go into much more depth in the conversation. You see, from this point, you can ask her, what do you like about traveling? Why do you like it? And what is the first place you visited? You can also use non-verbal communication to invoke more positive emotions, such as maintaining that non-threatening but sincere eye contact, genuine smile, and social touching and displaying an open posture. You see, it's important to show her that you're enjoying the conversation and that you want it to continue by smiling and nodding occasionally. After all, as the communication expert Dale Carnegie always says, it's much easier to become interested in others than it is to convince them to be interested in you. Be positive and happy. Now, leave all your problems at home. It makes us feel much happier when we engage with people who are happy and positive. You see, positivity and happiness are contagious. Have you ever noticed if one person smiles or yawns, it spreads instantly? It's because we are highly connected on a subconscious level. Happiness and positivity are essentially the same. You see, she might have her ups and her downs in her life, and you don't want to add to them more, so try to put extra effort into your conversations where you can and spread positivity and happiness to avoid any negativity. Guys, as always, leave any comments and any questions that you have below and I'll answer them personally. Now, if you want to get in touch with me directly, then shoot me an email on Iain@Kamalifestyles.com. And I'd be really grateful if you can push that like button, share and subscribe to Karma TV, and be sure to come back again for more free videos on dating advice. I'm Ian Miles, and I'll see you next time.